Hey, hello everybody. Uh, I forgot that the camera films this upside down, so I'm turning it around in my editing program, which I really don't know how to use that well, so it's taken a while. Anyway, a friend of mine asked me to make a breakfast video, so here it is. I'm going to make waffles from scratch. And the difference in these waffles is you whip the egg whites. I'll show you coming up. All right, you need 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, 3 cups of milk, 3/4 cup of oil, and 4 eggs. Okay, now look, there's a trick with the eggs, with the egg whites rather. When you whip egg whites, number 1, make sure they're room temperature. And number 2, make sure there is no grease in the bowl or on the whip. If you have to, wash the things again to make sure there is 0 grease. I'm telling you, the grease will result in egg whites that will not stand up. What happens is the grease coats the egg white molecules and it doesn't allow the air to get in. So if there's no grease at all, you're going to end up with egg whites like this. These are perfect. I mean, they're perfect. Okay. All right. So now what you do is I'm going to add the wet ingredients. You don't want to start out with the flour because then, you're going to have flour sticking to the bottom of the bowl. So there you go. There goes 3/4 of a cup of oil. You can use coconut oil if you want. Here goes 4 egg yolks. I know it looks like more, but what happened was I bought jumbo eggs, and every one of them had a double yolk. So, all right, so that was 4 egg yolks. Let me see what else. All right, now I'm going to add 4 cups of flour. You can sift it if you want. I don't sift a lot of stuff. I don't know why. When you sift, all it does is add a little air to it. Well, I'm adding whipped egg whites to it. I mean, that's going to add a lot of air. So, like I said, you can sift it if you want. Go ahead. Good luck. That's all-purpose flour, by the way. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That equals 4 teaspoons of baking powder. There's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So I'm putting in 4 teaspoons, or 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a half teaspoon of salt. All right, now there goes 3 cups of milk, and that's it. And let that beat for about, I'm going to say about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. You don't want to beat it too much because it's gonna promote the gluten. All right, hold on. There goes 1 teaspoon of vanilla, which is not on that list. The vanilla is actually optional. Anyway, you don't want to build up the gluten. Gluten is a protein. And what gluten means is glue. It means glue in Greek. All right, so when you have bread and you want to make small little bubbles in the bread, then you beat the dough. You need the dough. All right, and that causes the bubbles to be small. Like I said, it's glue. It holds together everything. All right, so anyway, you don't want too much gluten in this recipe here. So don't beat those ingredients for more than, until they're well incorporated. That's about all I can tell you. Don't go crazy and just, beat the heck out of it. Okay, now you're going to fold in the egg whites, and you want to do that in 3 portions. If you put them all in at once, yeah, you can do that, but it's going to take you all day to get them in there. If you do them 3 portions, then what happens is the first portion kind of loosens up the dough, the batter. Then the second portion goes in a little bit easier, and the third portion is the easiest of them all because the batter's already been, let's say, softened, All right. I've got a cheap little waffle iron here. I'm just checking that light. The light will tell you when the thing is ready. I like to get it hotter than it needs to be. The waffle iron. I like it when the waffles are a little bit well done. You know, that's just my taste. All right, now you want to fold these in until the large lumps of egg whites are gone. You don't have to get all the lumps out. That's not important, but you do have to get the big ones. At least break the big ones up. Yeah, it's starting to look good. Okay, now also, I've made these before, so I know how much to put in the waffle iron. All right, there's two sides to the waffle iron. Each side takes a 2-ounce scoop. All right, now when you first make these, if you've never made them before, if you've never used a waffle iron before, you got to play around and find out exactly how much fits in, because one of two things is going to happen. Either the waffles are going to come out of the machine, they're going to ooze out, or the waffles are going to be small if you don't have enough in there. All right, well, look, I know exactly how much. There's 2 ounces, and then you close the door and you clamp the lock on the machine. All right, and what that does is that if you have too much waffle mix in there, the mix will come out, but it will not open the door. That's about it. That's about all I can tell you. Okay. Now listen, this recipe makes 24 waffles. This is a lot of waffles. That was a pound of bacon that I cooked earlier. What I did was I put it in the oven, and what I'm going to do here is these are perfect waffles for a bachelor or a lady that lives by herself. And I'll tell you why. What I do is I put 2 waffles in a bag with 2 strips of bacon in the bag. All right, then I freeze them. Then you know, when you feel like having a waffle, you take them out of the freezer, you put the waffles in the toaster, you put the bacon in the microwave for, I don't know, what, 10 seconds? And boom, you're done. Just like that. It's perfect, I'm telling you. Now, there you go. There's the right color. Those first 2 were not quite as brown as I wanted them, but that's okay. All right, so now the rest of this video, like I said, is just making the waffles and stacking them up, you know, and then I'm going to put them in the bags at the end. Like I said, 24 waffles, man, that's 12 breakfasts. All right, there you go. There's a bunch. I don't know how many are there, but I'll tell you, these waffles are really nice with the egg whites. You know what? You can, if you buy a waffle mix and it requires you to add eggs, you can do the egg white thing with the store-bought mix. All you got to do is separate the egg whites and whip them up, and then add them in like I did there. Fold them in, and you know, basically what it does is it adds air to the waffles. That's, you know, I mean, that's all you're doing, whipping the egg whites. You don't have to whip them, you know. I just like to whip them because the waffles are, you know, it gives it a nice airy waffle. All right, so anyway, there goes. I have 4 bags that I had enough bacon to put in. Then I had these little scraps of bacon left. All right, there. Now I put them in a big Ziploc. All right. When they cool off, I'm going to put them into the freezer and be done with it. You know, and now I've got a freezer full of waffles. Now with, oh, there, I added some cinnamon sugar to these. These next waffles, those have cinnamon sugar on them. Oh, by the way, I found out last week I am not a diabetic. Woohoo! I beat type 2 diabetes. Yeah, baby. I took a blood test last week. It did say my glucose was high, and I asked my doctor, what is that? And she said, well, you know, it is sugar, it's glucose. And I told her I eat a lot of fruit. And she said, well, go ahead, keep eating the fruit. You know, and I do ride my bike a lot. And what else do I do? Oh, and I don't eat sugar. You know what I mean? Very little, very little. That cinnamon sugar there, that was stevia and some granulated sugar. Very little. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy about that. There, I had a poached egg that I put into the microwave. All right, and so what I'm going to have here for breakfast is a poached egg, waffle with 2 pieces of bacon. Here, now what I'm doing here is I'm putting those in just like a loaf of bread. You know, because I ran out of bacon, so again, those will just go into the freezer, and they're perfect. I mean, you know, throw them in the oven. I mean, oh, you could do them in the toaster oven, yeah, or in the toaster. I just put them in the toaster. All right, there's my poached egg somewhere. Yeah, it's in that bowl. You know, when I was young, I used to like over medium eggs, you know, where the yolk was still liquidy. But now I don't know. I just can't stand. I can't stand the yolk. It's got to be hard. All right, so there we go. A little bacon chunks. Oh, I was gonna make some hash browns too, but I didn't have any potatoes. I looked and there were no potatoes. So there's some tater tots. Those things are pretty good. I like them. And here comes my poached egg. Oh yeah, look at this. I mean, you know, once you have this stuff made up, this breakfast takes you 2 minutes. The longest thing to cook, well, besides the tater tots, the longest thing to cook is the poached egg. All right, there's mandarin orange, or whatever they call those things, the little halos. Man, those things are good. All right, so let's see what this looks like. There you go. Perfect breakfast. And like I said, now that I have it made up, I can put this together real quick. And here you go. I gotta go. I gotta eat.